You found the WMIX Saturday Sports Show on AM 940 and WMIXSports.com. Cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. The Saturday Sports Show has been recognized by the Illinois Broadcasters Association as one of the top radio programs in the state. That means the very best mix of local sports content is right here. From the powerhouse on Broadway, the Saturday Sports Show starts now.
Starts now, it does. Glad to have you with us for another Saturday morning in the Saturday Sports Show here on WMIX and WMIXSports.com. Of course, today we'll have a busy lineup coming your way as high school postseason is underway on the girls' side in basketball. Boys are coming up in a couple of weeks. Of course, we'll talk about last night's Mount Vernon Rams victory on the road against the Marion Wildcats with Rams head coach Scott Gamber. We'll talk with Deirdre Dagg. Of course, she is the head coach of the Wayne City Lady Indians. Wayne City wins their first ever girls regional last night. You heard it on AM 940 and WMIXSports.com. They'll head to the Trico sectional on Tuesday. We'll talk with Chrissy Vickers. She is the cheerleading coach at Sestervalier High School. They actually finished in second place, won the second place trophy at the IHSA Cheer Championships. We'll talk with Mount Vernon Lady Rams head coach Jeff Lonnan, of course, on the girls basketball side at MVTHS. We'll talk about their results this week and preview the upcoming regional at Massac County. Rick Metcalf, the SVW Lady Devils, are regional champs again. They will head into the sectional this coming week. We'll talk with him as well. We'll also talk with Harrisburg Lady Bulldogs head basketball coach Jake Stewart. They got a big win over McLeansboro last night in regional action at Carmi White County, and of course they will head to the sectional. Mike Chamness is Anna Jonesboro Wildcats got a win over Pinckneyville last night. We'll talk with Coach Chamness about that. And last but certainly not least, we'll talk with Wayne Hari, the Nashville Hornets, of course, regional champions last night. They will take on the aforementioned SVW Lady Devils in the West Frankfort sectional. So all of that to come, plus the WMIXSports.com scoreboard and the WMIX Sports social media question of the week, which I believe posted on the social media, of course, may or may not have something to do with the Olympics. You'll have to find out for the first time on the air when we ask Mount Vernon Rams head basketball coach Scott Gamber coming up in a few here on the Saturday Sports Show. Rams won last night, of course, 66-63 in overtime at Marion, and to get that first conference win on the road in quite some time, and I think have to be pretty thrilled with the result. We'll talk to Scott Gamber, knowing his team needed a big win last night, of course, did it on the road at Marion against Shane Hawkins' Marion Wildcats. But as we take a look at the WMIXSports.com scoreboard, of course, it was kind of an interesting night in the South 7 Conference. Interesting night indeed.
Yeah, I mean, Mount Vernon goes on the road and gets a win, and then Centralia holds off Carbondale late after Carbondale was down double digits. Carbondale had some technicals called late in the game, and then Cahokia gets Altoff on the road. So a road win kind of night for the South 7 as everybody gets that road win last night.
And I think that was the impressive thing about it. Of course, you had a couple of games in which the scores were the same, 71-70, both Centralia over Carbondale. And I think the thing to take away from Centralia was the fact that they were up 12. Carbondale had a pair of technicals in the game, but Carbondale was able to battle back. And with Centralia and Carbondale not being in the same regional and things like that, things could get interesting down the stretch. But I think you look at Carbondale right now, and you look at the South Regional at Heron, and Carbondale, as seeds will come out next week, probably the early favorite to be a number 1 seed without a doubt.
I don't think there's any doubt that will happen. I take that back because what we've seen the last couple of weeks, people behind computer keyboards and not with their peers, they do funny things when they seed teams the way they want to.
Well, and that's made such a difference in the way that regionals are seeded now, whereas instead of being able to lobby for your team, you have to rely on that, and a lot of gamesmanship is able to take place now because you're able to hide behind that keyboard, hide behind that monitor, and it's been interesting to see, especially over the past couple of years this has been implemented, the changes that have gone on in the seeding process and the changes that have gone on with seeding overall, and we've even seen that in a couple of regionals already. That's probably the most interesting factoid.
Well, yeah, and I think people manipulate things. I don't think it's about ranking teams 1, 2, 3, 4, however you want to do it. I mean, there's gamesmanship going on during games. It's going to go on before and after. And with that being said, you're seeing coaches trying to figure out if they manipulate the numbers and they sit back and think about it, how they can get a better draw for their team and how to stay away from certain things based on what the schedules will be. So this is going to go on. This will happen. I know back when coaches griped about having to get and travel and go to sectional complexes. Then they griped about having to go drive on a Wednesday night because they couldn't schedule games, so they had to send somebody else, and that person didn't vote the way they wanted to, and they complained about that. Well, then the IHSA changed and said, fine, sit and do it on a computer. Well, now here we go. It's just the way it is. It's part of the system, and it's going to be as long as this goes on. And if there is another way to do it, you better believe people are going to figure out ways to do things else.
Well, and there's certainly no doubt about that. Of course, Class S finals will wrap up today at Rend Lake College. Blueford versus Creel Springs in the third-place game, and Giant City versus New Hope in the championship. Class M wrapped up last night at Waugh Gymnasium. Redbud beat Fairfield in the third-place game, 42-33. Goreville beat Cairo for the championship, 59-54. Class L gets started today with their quarterfinals. At 9:30, it's DuQuoin Benton. 10:45, Collinsville Mount Carmel. Noon, it's Carbondale and Centralia. And at 1:15, it is Marion and O'Fallon. Of course, that's all at Waugh Gymnasium today down at Rend Lake College. And girls basketball last night in the 1A regional championship games, the Wayne City Lady Indians beat Galatia Thompsonville 59-54. At Pope County, it was Goreville big over Pope County, 57-18. New Athens, it was New Athens over Sandoval, 60-46. In 2A regional championships last night, as we told you, Jake Stewart's Harrisburg Lady Bulldogs beat Hamilton County, 58-48. And Carterville heads to a sectional. They beat Murphy last night in a road game, 55-46. South 7 play, the Mount Vernon Rams beat Marion in overtime last night, 66-63. Centralia beat Carbondale, 71-70. It was Cahokia over Altoff in overtime, 71-70. In the Black Diamond Conference last night, Carmi-White County beat Hamco 53-48, Fairfield 63, Vienna 52, Johnston City beats El Dorado 57-40. In the BDC West, it was SV over Goreville 83-68. Skipping down, of course, as we take a look at the Cahokia, Carlisle beat Columbia 60-47, Freeburg over Westglen 54-48. It was New Athens over Mercer Coulterville 49-39, and Valmeyer over Dupo 46-37. River to River last night, AJ over Pinckneyville. We'll talk with Mike Chambliss a little later on here on the Saturday Sports Show. It was AJ 68, Pinckneyville 63. Sparta beats DuQuoin 46-35. Harrisburg beats Benton 62-39, and West Frankfort over Murphy 54-46. Quite a few more scores on the WMIXsports.com scoreboard from last night. A lot going on today as well, including girls bowling sectionals. Good luck to the Mount Vernon Lady Rams, as well as wrestling sectionals this weekend. Good luck to the Rams wrestlers that had advanced from last week. We need to take a break on the Saturday Sports Show. When we come back, we'll have Mount Vernon Rams head basketball coach Scott Gamber. We'll talk about that big win on the road last night. It's all up ahead on the Saturday Sports Show, powered by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
Back after these.
The health of your kidneys has a big impact on your overall health, affecting everything from your blood pressure to your bones. And if you ever have a kidney problem, Dr. Kangura is here to help. Dr. Kangura trained at the Mayo Clinic and specializes in conditions ranging from kidney stones and uncontrolled high blood pressure to chronic kidney disease. Dr. Kangura sees patients at Crossroads Specialty Clinic. For an appointment, call 618-241-9071.
More Americans are on a move today than ever before. One of the most popular modes of transportation is the motorcycle. Motorcycles take us to our jobs, school, to the beach, and all around the country. If you're a bike rider, your Pekin Insurance Agency, Page Insurance on Crownview in Mount Vernon, wants to make sure you have the best insurance protection while you're riding. Ask about the money-saving auto cycle discount and the experienced driver discount, too. Call Page Insurance at 242-7000 today about motorcycle insurance from Pekin Insurance.
With the housing market picking up and rates still low, now's the perfect time to purchase the home of your dreams. Hi, this is Joy Schrader, mortgage specialist from People's National Bank. People's National Bank has several different programs to choose from to help get you in the home of your dreams. Stop by and see me, Joy Schrader, or apply online at peoplesnationalbank.com today.
People's National Bank, serving Southern Illinois since 1909, member FDIC, equal housing lender, loan subject to credit approval.
Here's Jeff Schmidt for Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon.
Chevy Impala is winning over luxury import buyers because of its ride and handling. We offer lease incentives that make the Impala more affordable than ever, with a 2-year, 24,000-mile maintenance plan absolutely free. We have a great selection at Schmidt Chevrolet and will continue to be the leader in the area because we offer the most competitive pricing and highest trade-in value. That's why no one can touch our deals.
Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon, 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon.
And we welcome you back, WMIX and WMIXsports.com. The Saturday Sports Show is cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
Our first guest of the day, as always, is Mount Vernon Rams head basketball coach Scott Gamber. The Rams got a 66-63 win in overtime last night over the Marion Wildcats. Scott, good morning.
Morning. How are you guys?
Pretty good. I said it last night, and I know that you felt the same way, that last night was a must-win. The Rams went into Marion, of course, led early. Marion takes it into first quarter lead. Rams tied at halftime, and then the second half was so back and forth, but the Rams ultimately prevail in overtime. All in all, any win on the road, in my opinion, in this tough South 7 is a good win, but last night was a great one.
Yeah, it's we did not get a road conference win last year. We went 5-5 and lost all 5 games on the road. So it had been a while since we lost all 4 of our road games going into last night this year. So it was nice to get a road conference win. I think what I was most proud of our guys about last night was we lost 5 in a row. They have continued to stay positive. They've continued to put in work. And last night, Marion took a 29-20 lead in the second quarter, and it really looked like we were getting ready to just put us away. And we had a couple starters on the bench, and I thought Santos, Taylor, and Gilwan Nelson's minutes that they gave us, and then our guys not giving up, not quitting, and being able to get that game to a 32-32 tie at the half. We don't win unless we get those minutes from those guys, and we get back in that ball game there in the first half. And we had some guys, last night was nice to win from the standpoint of our normal stars didn't have huge games like they've had this year. We had a huge game from Dylan Reeves. Man, he played well, not just on the offensive side, but he played great defensively in that 1-3-1 zone. I think he got his hands on several passes, and I thought what Dylan did a great job of was when the ball went to his side in the 1-3-1, he did not allow them to reverse it to the opposite side. Plus, he was 3 of 4 from the three-point line. Got a big transition basket. He played great. I thought Doug Gardner played a great game last night. He got big offensive rebound and put back in a clutch spot. He had he hit what I was glad that with Doug hit a 3 early in the game, but he did not attempt any more threes. He didn't try to take it when it wasn't there. He really picked his spots carefully. I thought Doug and Dylan had maybe 2 of their best games of the year. We needed that. We needed the balanced scoring, and when you lost 5 in a row and 7 out of 8, and really feel like you're just swimming, it's nice to be able to finish out a game.
How important was it to have a game like that last night, close, late, get one at the horn in overtime, coming off a loss at Jerseyville where you lost at the end of the game?
It's huge. With how the Cahokia and Jerseyville game went, with leading a lot of the game, leading late in the fourth quarter, and then not finishing out, very, very important to be able to do that last night on the road. I can't imagine trying to come back today if we would have played that close last night and then not gotten it back again. It'll definitely help for this week practice and everything. But our kids have done a really nice job of bouncing back. But at some point, it's too much. And with getting the win last night, it gives us a little confidence. Kind of gets the monkey off of our back a little bit. Maybe sometimes you kind of feel like when you're on the losing streak, you're going to find a way to lose the game. And maybe last night got us over that a little bit.
Well, and of course, to take a look at last night, and both teams shot very well from beyond the arc early on, and it seemed as if early Marion was going to make Colton Carter beat the Rams. 7 threes last night, but then you guys came out second half, played a little bit zone, and were able to keep him from getting a good look from three-point land. In my opinion, that was a huge difference in the game, keeping their hot hand at bay and really eliminating him from their offense.
Yeah, Colton, he was unbelievable last night. We did not do a very good job in our man defense last night. I don't know. we've not been a great defensive team all year by any means, but I felt like last night in the first half we struggled even worse. But he still had to hit the shots, and every time we would get caught on a screen, he knocked down every single shot he looked at, and I felt like that they were in too much of a rhythm. I thought the pace of the game was completely in their favor early on. He was really comfortable coming on their screens. The offense was clicking. We kind of just came to the point of we could not play any worse defense. We needed to do something to get them out of their rhythm. We went 1-3-1, and I thought it got them out of their flow. It slowed them down a great deal. And like I said, a couple of our guys, and Dylan Reeves just happens to be the guy that kind of stands out, but there were other guys, did a really good job of keeping the ball on one side of the floor. And Colton didn't really get too many more touches, and really we had a couple breakdowns late where we let Mo Jackson drive in on us and get some easy baskets, and we let them throw a diagonal pass for a layup once. But other than that, I thought our 1-3-1 was pretty effective last night, and it's something that we're going to have to go to at times. I mean, when you're, how many games we've played this year, but when you're 20-some games into the season, your man defense is not going to miraculously get really, really good all at once. So we're going to have to keep throwing that in. It's something we can't do all the time because teams can figure out a 1-3-1 if you play an entire game. But I think it's something we have to mix in.
Well, and then, of course, you take a look at the games that are remaining this season, and you have Lovejoy at home on Tuesday night, which, obviously Mount Vernon the prohibitive favorite in that one on Tuesday at Shagnon Gymnasium. But then you have the Carbondale Terriers coming in on Friday. How important was it to get that win last night? Then how important is it to get the win Tuesday to hopefully have some momentum again at home in Shagnon for the hot Carbondale Terriers coming off of a loss last night?
Yeah, like I said earlier, if last night goes the other way, it makes everything really, really difficult. Luckily, we got it. We have to take care of business Tuesday night. We cannot come in flat. We cannot overlook Lovejoy. That's going to be, as coaches, our job to make sure that we focus in on Lovejoy. We're not practicing today. We're going to practice tomorrow. We're going to practice Monday. We'll have 2 days to worry about Lovejoy, and then we'll play Lovejoy Tuesday night, and then worry about Carbondale Wednesday and Thursday.
Is there for you?
Go ahead.
I'm going to ask a focus this week. How important will it be not to look past Lovejoy and then think, oh, Carbondale's back there, Hall of Fame weekend, everything else? How important will it be to get your guys focused on the task at hand Tuesday before it becomes Friday?
I think it's going to be tough for the reason one, Carbondale's leading our league, or at least they and Cokia tied now for our league. So our Carbondale tapped us at their play. I mean, they beat us 29 and just absolutely dominated that basketball game. And like you said, Hall of Fame weekend is always a special weekend. Coach Holloway is a guy that our players are close to. A lot of them play for him in baseball and have had him in class. So they'll want to do well for that. And you always want to play well for the people that have excelled in front, before you. So that'll be a big thing. And the thing is, when you've lost, when you've had the stretch that we've had, I don't know, we lost 6 out of 8 or 7 out of 9, you cannot take any team lightly. And we have to make sure that we go over their stuff well. We're prepared for what they're going to do. They play a lot of zone. We have not gone against zone. We've gone against zone more than game mate. I don't know if we've gone against zone in a full game combined this year. So that'll be something different for us to prepare for. The nice thing is it is at home. Our last 4 games are at home. Shagnon Gym is not an easy place to play. Even teams like Carbondale that pounded us on the road or at their place, I feel like we'll play the right style. We'll have a chance to be competitive in those games. So we are out of the conference race. We can still not finish at the very bottom of it. and we can still have something to say with who wins it. Carbondale and Centralia are our last two conference games. Both of those teams are right in the hunt for the conference title. Carbondale and Coquia have 2 losses. Centralia's got 3. We could play spoiler back-to-back weekends, and then that's something to play for.
Well, something to play for indeed. And right now, over in Russia, there's a lot of amateurs playing for Olympic medals. And we want to know, what is your favorite sport to watch during the Winter Olympics?
I'm not a big Winter Olympics person. I don't even know what some of the events are called. It's like the bobsled, except it's the single person. What is that called?
Like the luge?
Yeah, the luge. I like watching the luge, and then I guess because it looks like a sport that doesn't take a lot of athleticism. I love watching curling. I think everybody does, but that was on yesterday morning when I got up early. Curling and the luge, but I don't watch much.
Well, I'll tell you what, but you picked 2 of the best right there, I think. Luge and curling, especially curling.
Yeah. I have been watching a little bit, or I actually turned it off about 10 minutes ago, but I have been watching a little bit of the U.S.-Russia hockey game.
Can't go wrong with Olympic hockey also, especially with how they do it now. Good stuff. I think it's tied at 1.
Okay. It was scoreless when I had turned it off.
But a big week coming up, of course, Hall of Fame weekend, and then 2 more at home the week after that. Scott, we wish you the best of luck to the Rams, and, of course, we'll find out just where they stand at the Heron Regional this week when seeds come out on Thursday.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I mean, I hope that last night's win puts us in a position to be the no worse than the 3 seed. I would hope that maybe last night's win would get us the 2 seed, but I'll be interested in that. I mean, I don't think there's any way that Carbondale's not the one. I mean, Carbondale's the one. If they're not the one, then we need to change the way we vote. But Carbondale should be 1, and I hope we're 2. If not 2, 3, it doesn't really matter there. And it'd be interesting to see. I would assume we'll play Marion, but who knows?
I have a hunch that you're right. Scott, best of luck this week. We'll talk to you again next Saturday.
All right, thanks a lot.
That's Scott Gamber, head coach of the Mount Vernon Rams, and you're probably looking at Carbondale 1, Mount Vernon 2, Marion 3. And then some sort of variation between Massac and Heron, 4 or 5, if I had to guess. But let's see. A break on the Saturday Sports Show is coming up. We'll talk with Deirdre Dagg after it. Of course, she is the head coach of the Wayne City Lady Indians. They won their first ever regional last night. Big win over Glacier Thompsonville, a team that they faced last year in the Alvarado Regional Championship game. We'll talk about that after the break. Of course, don't forget, next week we talked about Hall of Fame weekend. It is our Hall of Fame show coming up. We'll talk with some of the inductees, and, of course, we'll have a regular program before. We're going to go till 11 o'clock. So it'll be 8 to 9 normal, 9 to 11 your MVTHS class of 2014. We'll talk about that next week on the Saturday Sports Show. Cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
Back after these.
This is Chase Landers with Landers Collision Centers. Imagine this. You're driving down the road. It's dark as can be outside. Thank goodness you just had that left headlight bulb replaced. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see a thing. Now, close your eyes. Okay, don't close your eyes. You're supposed to be driving. Imagine noticing a slight twinkle off to the left, just above the ditch. What is that, you think to yourself? All of a sudden, whap! You've just encountered your first deer hit. The left side of your vehicle is beat up pretty bad. The next thing I want you to imagine is very simple. Picking up your phone and dialing 1-888-LANDERS to set up your repair. Deer claims are common, and usually a very simple process, which fall under comprehensive coverage. This is Chase Landers, asking you to allow Landers to be your collision repair shop of choice. Whether it be a deer hit, fender bender, or the regular, uh-oh, sorry mom, Landers is here for you whenever you need us. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. 1-888-LANDERS, that's 1-888-LANDERS.
Your spine is a miracle of engineering, so when pain strikes, your body is telling you to get help fast. The Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois is proud to feature their spine care team. Doctors Kowalski and Smith, the professionals at Orthopedic Center, specialize in back and neck pain. So put our spine care team on the job. Find out more online at orthocenter-si.com. Stop the pain, fix the problem, and enjoy life again. The Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. By now you have heard about our new One Checking product. The new One Account is a high interest earning, free checking account designed for everyone. Unlike other banks that pay interest on higher balance, this account pays interest on all balances. From high schoolers to Warren Buffett, One will work for you. You can talk to one of us at 244-3000 and learn about the details. One, exclusively at Community First Bank. You will be one happy customer. Member FDIC.
And we welcome you back on the Saturday Sports Show, WMIX and WMIXsports.com. Cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
That's Danny Zawinski. I'm Chris Shuko. Avery Barton in studio this morning. As we roll through our lineup, of course, a successful load of head coaches today. One in particular is Deirdre Dagg. Her Wayne City Lady Indians last night won their first ever regional championship with a 59-44 win over Galatia Thompsonville. That game was on AM 940 and WMIXsports.com. The archive is up on the website for your listening pleasure. Coach, good morning.
Good morning.
How jacked are you right now? I imagine the first regional in school history in terms of girls basketball. You have to be pretty excited.
I'm very excited. It was kind of hard to settle down last night and get some sleep, but, yeah, very excited.
Speaking of last night, I thought both teams came out rather nervous early on, but then I think the key difference for me, at least from my vantage point, the fact that neither team hit shots, but I thought your team rebounded better, both offensively, especially defensively, which kept Galatia Thompsonville out of there trying to get offensive rebounds and getting an extra rhythm.
Exactly, and that we talked about it with the girls, that they're a pretty good rebounding team, and all of their points in that first quarter were off of second or third shots. It was really important for us to start rebounding, and got Allison Bass in there, and she was able to kind of help Hunter where we could get some rebounds and not give them those second and third shots. And I think that completely changed the game.
Your defense, of course, held Galatia Thompsonville with 2 points in the second quarter. That was 2 free throws in that second quarter, and your team went on a little run, a 14-2 run. I thought another player, that came in and did a very good job, besides Allison Bass down the stretch, another one was Shyla Beck. She had a shot early in the fourth quarter that played well. Carrie Gammon hit some big points in the third quarter off the bench. These are gals that have been playing all year for you JV and varsity-wise, a little bit less on varsity, but they stepped up big time last night in a big game.
Yeah, Carrie did. We were a little bit of foul trouble, and my normal starter, Vanessa Shum, is out with a knee injury, so she wasn't able to give me any minutes whatsoever. And Emily got into foul trouble, and America was already starting, so Carrie was the next one to come off. And that's what I talked about last night. I was so excited for her to have such a good game. She struggled a little bit early this year and kind of had her head down. But after last night, you could see a whole different side of her. It was nice to see that she could step up and play that, which will play huge next year. When we come around, she's only a freshman, so I'm very excited for her.
Excited, and I think one of the things too, your team at half had that big lead, 24-8, and I really didn't get a sense that your team kind of cruised into overdrive. I think Galatia Thompsonville came out gunning in the third quarter, didn't hit a lot of shots. Then they started fouling and started putting your team to the free throw line. I thought your team did a great job down the stretch, didn't shoot free throws in the third, but in the fourth quarter when the fouling began, your team did an excellent job at the free throw line to kind of squelch the life out of Galatia Thompsonville.
I think so too, and I felt like Galatia Thompsonville, I felt like we were so much better conditioned shape-wise. I kept telling the girls, if we just get up and down the floor, they're gonna start fouling, they're gonna start throwing up shots because they're tired. They couldn't get their feet underneath them, I felt like, and it was important for us not to. We're up by 20. We're just gonna let this game go. We talked about it at halftime to make sure that we still had, that desire to put them away, because they're a good shooting team. If they get hot, it's you can't stop them, and so it was important for us to make sure that we kept them in control of their shooting.
You sit back and you think about it. It has been probably about 12 hours since the game was over. Have you thought about the historical significance of that first regional championship for girls basketball at Wayne City High School?
I had thought about it. I thought about it all week. I have not been able to eat or sleep all week, just because of the excitement for the girls. They had a chance to make history, to stand up for their school, and with the boys' game being canceled last night, there were a lot of fans there that normally don't see girls basketball. I know I lived across and saw several people thinking they'd never been to a game ever. And it was nice to see that the girls showed up and played, and to show that, we're worth coming out and watching as well. And it was a big night for the girls. The girls have a spot set out in the lobby for our trophy, because there are no girls' trophies out there in our lobby. So the girls have a spot picked out. They're ready to put it up there. And we've had, within softball season last year and then now with our regional win, it's a big deal in girls basketball, girls sports in general at Wayne City.
Going into Tuesday night, you get to play Carroll on the road at Trico, a new gym, an unfamiliar place, new setting, set up. Between now and then, first question is, what do you know about Carroll at this stage of the game?
I wouldn't let myself go down there and watch, which I probably regret now. I just wanted to play one game at a time. I couldn't look ahead to this. I do have a little information on them. I know they're fast. I know that they're up and down the court. I saw the scores from their regional championship game. So I know a little bit. I don't know a whole lot. I'm hoping I can find some film somewhere. I'm not sure if I'll be able to or not. But, in the long run, it doesn't really matter. I'm not one of those coaches that really scouts a whole lot and worries about what the other team's doing. It depends on what my girls do. We need to do what we do and do it well. And if we do that, then we're okay. I can't expect them to jump in and know their plays and know what to do and how to stop them. We just have to do what we do and do it to our best ability, and that's all you can ask for.
Was the experience last year and having a lot of your girls return from last year's regional finalist team, plus having so many girls have experienced that success in softball last year, do you feel that helped play an important role in this regional title? I mean, that and the fact that you beat every team in the regional already, did all of that help kind of make a perfect storm for the Lady Indians to win that regional championship last night?
Definitely did. They remember last year. They remember the pain, and I remember last year, watching them watch Glacier celebrate on the floor after the win. And you could tell in those girls that were coming back that, that was a lasting memory for them. They wanted that. And to top it off, it was at home. I mean, you can't ask for anything better. You've beaten every team. You have that memory of not being the one celebrating, and you're in your home gym. I told the girls, we've played hours and hours and hours in this gym. We've played games, we've practiced, those seniors have been in there for 4 years of working in that gym. It's, everything should just come out and just play. It was fine. So it definitely played a role in how they came out and played.
And in talking Wednesday night after the Woodlawn Glacier Thompsonville game, I remember talking about and discussing the X factor for the Lady Cats with Seneca So, a girl that probably helped beat you last year, helped beat Woodlawn, of course, in overtime on Wednesday night. Somebody that you kind of felt you had to stop, held her scoreless last night, probably pretty big in terms of getting that win as well.
I didn't want her to get any. She kind of gets those cheap little baskets that you don't see. You don't see her do a whole lot. You kind of leave her open, and she does. She rebounds well, and she puts them right back in. It was all up to us just to rebound the ball and not let her get that second shot, or leave them open. Our defense did excellent last night. We helped each other out, called out the screens, which is so important because they screen a lot. And so our girls, we just didn't let them have any of those cheap baskets, and that made a huge difference. Yeah.
Well, and understandably so. And, of course, this is big for the community, getting to showcase girls basketball, of course, and getting the regional championship. Mm-hmm. Social media obviously blew up last night, but how has the community response been thus far to the Wayne City girls winning that title?
I would say my Facebook page blew up last night, yes. Actually, I'm getting ready to head to the gym now. My daughters they both compete dance-wise, and today is their rehearsal, their dress rehearsal, the whole thing this morning. And so I'm sure I will see some people in there, and we'll talk about it a little bit more once I get in town and see what's going on. But like I said, they came out and they supported us. It was a nasty night to be out, and we still have, our side was full of fans that were there to support the girls, which was great. And with you guys coming, it was awesome. My brother in Florida got to listen, my aunt in Tennessee, my cousin in California. I mean, I had people all over, that got to listen to the game, and they were really excited about that.
Final question for you is our social media question of the week, and this week's question is, what is your favorite sport to watch during the Winter Olympics?
That is so tough because I TiVo them and watch them all. But I'm a big fan of probably the giant slalom, and I snow ski myself. So anytime I can get away, now coaching, I don't get the chance to get away much. But anytime I can get away, we go to Colorado and we snow ski, and probably one of my favorite things to do. So I like to watch it. But I love the speed skating, and I love the freestyle skiing. The jumps and I just think it's awesome how they can do all those things with skis on in the air. So yeah, it's pretty exciting.
The slalom, nice.
I know. Did I choose 3? I think I just chose 3. Do I get 3 of them?
You know what? If you win a regional championship, I think that's okay. I think that's acceptable.
Good deal. Good deal.
Of course, your game with Caro on Tuesday night will be on AM 940 and WMIXsports.com. So obviously, we wish the best of luck to Lady Indians and hoping to see them in person on Thursday.
Thank you.
That's Coach Jared Erdag of the Wayne City Lady Indians, of course, regional champions of their own regional last night. Big win for Wayne City girls basketball. Our next guest, of course, is the cheer coach at Cesar Valera. They won the IHSA second-place trophy last week. We'll talk with Chrissy Vickers. It's coming up on the Saturday Sports Show, cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
Back after these.
A digestive problem can affect every area of your life. But now there's a specialist right here in town who focuses on digestive health. Mayo Clinic trained Dr. Tegpal Atwal has opened the only gastroenterology clinic in Mount Vernon. Dr. Atwal treats acid reflux, gallbladder problems, inflammatory bowel disease, ulcers, and more. For your appointment with Dr. Atwal at Crossroads Specialty Clinic, call 618-241-9071.
You hear about truck months? Well, 2014 is already setting up to be a truck year. Hi, Roy Schmidt, Ram truck dealer at King City Chrysler Center, Mount Vernon. Backed by popular demand, ABC Ally Financing is back. All 2014 Ram Quad Cab Express, Bighorn, and Outdoorsman models qualify for this program. Not only do you get a $2,500 rebate, Ally Financial will give you $3,000 on top of that. That's $5,500 in total discounts, plus you will get a low finance rate for up to 84 months. Payments could be as low as $350 on a new 2014 Ram Quad Cab truck. Come see one of our sales associates who will help you find any other qualifying discounts. Hurry to King City Chrysler Center at 1603 Broadway in Mount Vernon, Illinois, or browse our inventory online at kingcitychryslercenter.com.
And we welcome you back on the Saturday Sports Show, WMIX and WMIXsports.com. With Danny Zerwinski, I'm Chris Hugo, cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
Our next guest, of course, is the cheer coach at Cesar Valera, Chrissy Vickers. Her team won second place in the IHSA state finals last week. Coach, good morning. You know what? You have to be thrilled right now. Second place in the IHSA cheer competition, a cheer competition that actually is still rather new, probably in its toddler stage. You have to feel pretty good with your team's effort.
Oh, we do. We have been working towards this since IHSA picked up cheerleading as a sport and started holding this competition in Bloomington. So this has been a long time coming for us.
I got to look at this. Going back, Cesar Valera's kind of been a front runner of cheerleading competition over the years. I mean, you go back to, you were part of it. You were part of also, I believe, the Bad Girls of the South, the black T-shirts and the silver lettering that everybody remembers. I mean, this has kind of been an ongoing building thing for your program to try to get to this point, to get to state and earn a state trophy, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah. We started competing when I was in high school, and we have been qualifying for state ever since, and then IHSA started, and we have been slowly working our way up to get to the podium, which we finally reached our goal this year in getting to the podium and shooting some medals and bringing home some hardware to Southern Illinois.
I want to ask this. I want to let you tell the listeners, everybody walks into a gym on a night, looks around, cheerleaders do their thing, and they think, okay, they show up and do their thing. How many hours of practice a week do you guys put in, whether it's tryouts, off-season, during the season, getting ready for meets, that you guys put in that maybe our listeners don't understand just the athletes and the time it takes to get into this to do for cheerleading?
Well, after tryouts, we take a couple months off, and then we have, a few days, contact days in the summer, and we start catching days here and there, and if we're, if the funds are there, we try to go to camp or have an in-service camp, and then we start up in August with our football squad, and then, close to November, we start working hard for basketball, and then when November hits, we start on competition really hard, and we practice 2 to 3 times when it gets close to competition season, and then my team also takes tumbling once a week at Anna's. So they fit in a lot of hours, and usually 2.5 to 3 hour practices.
looking at your team, of course, you have another meet before you won it in the state championship in ICCA. Then you get ready for the IHSA, and I heard somebody saying that you were already writing down notes for things for next year. Is this kind of an ever-growing process to get out and get better and learn and do things for your team to make them, put them in better positions to get wins?
It is. Once my routine is done for the year, after we compete up there at the finals, I sit and I start jotting notes down about what I can do different to make it better for next year. And cheerleading is an ever-trending sport with stunts and trends that, evolve and get new and get harder. So I'm always taking notes of, something better, something harder, something that's going to catch the judge's eye that we can do for next year. I actually sat at our game during our JV game and was jotting down a bunch of notes, trying to get stuff going, for next year as well.
And I look at this, and you got ready, and you go into competition last week, and I mean, this is a one-and-done kind of thing. You have so many minutes to get out there. Your team has to do it right then and there. There's no going back, no this. You have to survive to advance from Friday to Saturday. To get everybody on the same page, how nervous were you knowing you've got a team that can do this? How nervous were you going into last weekend in state competition?
I was nervous, but I have suspicions year to year, depending on the group of kids I have. I know whether I need to be worried or not, whether I need to give huge pep talks or if I can just give, them a pretty good pep talk. And I know the group of kids I had this year that they were not going to fall. They were going to pull through, and they were going to get the job done. There are some years I have concerns about the kids, but this group of kids is not one of those years. I knew they were going to go in and they were going to hit the routine the way it needed to be done to get to the second day. And then they did even better the second day.
How nervous? Were you more nervous last weekend watching them perform or Wednesday night when you had to get out and perform with them because you had to help out with a couple of bases and a couple of stunts on Wednesday night?
I think I may have been more nervous Wednesday night because I didn't want that group that I was helping to fall and then people not realize that I was in there doing that and think, they did that at state. So I was actually really, really nervous because I wanted that stunt group to go and their stunt to go so everyone could get a really good idea of what this team is capable of. And I was extremely, extremely sore the next day after doing that.
Well, I didn't know you had any eligibility left. I had to check with Mr. Van Horn. I said, does she have any eligibility left? And he said, yes. For one night, she had eligibility, and then that was it.
The kids are trying to get me to do the whole thing with them, and I was like, absolutely not. I am doing good to help you do that one stunt. There's no way I'm in shape to do the rest of that.
We appreciate it. It was nice to see your team perform the other night. Again, for the home crowd, they seemed a little bit more nervous performing for the home team, but it was nice to see you guys bring that trophy in between games and show it off. And before we let you go, because you got a busy day, we ask one final question. This is our WMIX Sports social media question of the week, and this week's question is, what is your favorite Winter Olympic sport to watch?
Winter? Oh, figure skating, by far.
That's a good choice. Everybody kind of gets into that, I think, at this time of the year, don't they?
Yeah.
Of course, Coach, we congratulate you on second place with the IHSA trophy, and best of luck to the Red Devil cheerleaders in the future.
Thank you very much.
That's Chrissy Vickers, head coach of Sesserville cheerleading. Of course, so many years the ICCA is around, but now the IHSA probably in about its 8th or 9th year of hosting competitive cheerleading, and now that's seemed to become, I don't want to say the bigger honor between the two, but as far as recognition, that's the one that the IHSA obviously is choosing to recognize more, so therefore it's getting a little bit more ink and press, so to speak. So congratulations again to SV cheerleaders, and that's quite the accomplishment to finish in second place. They led after preliminaries, so congratulations again to them. We need to talk to Jeff Lonnon. He is the head coach of the Mountford and Lady Rams basketball team. They finished 2-1 this week, heading into the tough Massac County Regional. We'll talk about that with Coach Lonnon after the break here on the Saturday Sports Show, cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
Back after these.
I'm Jeremy Pearson with a look at your next rad weather. It'll be cold today with sunshine mixing with clouds. There can be a little snow in the afternoon, north of Mount Vernon, high 28. Mostly cloudy tonight, low 23. We'll see a blend of clouds and sunshine tomorrow, high 35. And Monday will be cloudy with showers, high 42. Next rad weather from WMIX, Mount Vernon, Illinois.
Don't just dream about a better job, go get it with scores of programs that take 2 years, 1 year, or even just a few months to complete. Rend Lake College is your gateway to a career you'll love. From nursing to coal mining, from computer programming to cosmetology, and everything in between. Rend Lake College is affordable, convenient, and ready to get you trained for your new job fast. Call us at 618-437-5321 or visit us at rlc.edu.
Mount Vernon is home to many wonderful people and things, and that includes quality cardiac care from Dr. Ruzaik Ibrahim, a skilled cardiologist. Dr. Ibrahim's training and scientific accomplishments have earned his designation as a Fellow of the American College of Cardiology. His services range from preventative care to the treatment of advanced heart conditions. For an appointment with Dr. Ibrahim at Crossroads Specialty Clinic, call 241-9071 or visit in person at 4113 South Water Tower, Mount Vernon.
And we welcome you back on the Saturday Sports Show, WMIX and WMIXSports.com. It's powered by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
Our next guest is the head coach of the Mount Vernon Lady Rams. He is Jeff Lonan. Coach, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
You know what, doing pretty good. Your team goes 2-1 this week. Gets big conference wins to close out the conference season. Clinch a share of the conference championship for a second consecutive year. Of course, last year outright, but this year a shared conference championship, assuming that Carbondale were to beat Cahokia today. Anything, I believe that's at Cahokia, of course, as we learned. Anything can happen at Cahokia on any given night, but I think the fact that you clinched the conference championship, you got to be pretty excited about that. Back-to-back conference championships for Lady Rams basketball.
Yeah, we're you know what, we're very proud, and you know, we had a 3-night deal there where we had 3 conference games in 4 days, and, you know, we pulled all 3 of them off, and I was just ecstatic over that because that weather just got us earlier in the year, and we ended up getting these games piled up at the end, and you know, you really worry about playing so close together whenever you're trying to be physically strong in every game, and you know you'll have to be, you know, ready to go each and every night. And, you know, it was almost like I felt like we were in the NBA. You know, those guys play about every other night. It was kind of dicey there. And then with the last one at Cahokia was obviously a one to remember, being down so much late in the game and then finding a way to get that done with the kids. And they just did a fantastic job of taking care of business over there whenever it seemed like it wasn't going to happen. And then, you know, I think that, you know, our game against Heron, obviously we play very well, and give Heron credit for that. They're a tough matchup for us for many reasons, but, you know, without getting into it, the loss against Heron on Thursday was really, in the whole scheme of things, was really a non-issue to me in comparison to, you know, winning those 3 games in 4 days in the conference and then guaranteeing us another conference championship.
Was the taste of a conference title a little bit sweeter? You said it yourself, 3 conference games in 4 days, but you come back from down 12. Probably the most gutsy performance I've seen out of your Lady Rams team this season that I personally witnessed, but a great win on the road at Cahokia where anything can happen. It's always tough to go over there and get a win, but you had an emotional senior night, got a big win over Centralia, but you come back down 12, win by 2 at Cahokia to clinch the conference title. Does it taste a little bit sweeter after that?
It does. It absolutely does. I mean, they always taste sweet, obviously, but it came from such an unlikely scenario. You know, standing there in the third quarter at Cahokia, you know, watching them struggle, you know, so much, and watching Cahokia, you know, look more like a 20-win team than a 3-win team. I don't know where that came from. I mean, they played dynamite. I mean, if they play Carbondale as hard as they played us, and I believe that's today, right, Chris?
Yes.
Yeah, if they play Carbondale as hard as they play us, you know, they could very possibly give them a really good basketball game. So my hat's off to them for not just checking it, because it's the end of the year and, they really haven't won very many games. I mean, it'd be easy for them to just lay down, but listen, they've got some tools now. I mean, they've got some tools to get some things done. They've got speed and athleticism, and we know they have size. I mean, they've got the tallest, most physical post player in the conference, and gosh, it was a weird feeling standing there, in the third quarter, from my standpoint, thinking this is just nothing short of disaster. That's getting ready to happen here. And they pulled us out of the fire, those kids did. And, they do it with Hannah fouling out and, with Isha and Miriam coming in and Peyton and doing such a good job off the bench. It's a total team effort in the process, and that's even more rewarding. So we're glad that happened, and we're just very privileged to be around such girls with good character and heart, and the kids don't want to lose, and they do want to do well, especially, when it comes to our conference. And to have kids with that kind of pride is very rewarding.
How much do you bring up the Heron game, or do you just let it go by the wayside and forget about it and move on?
Oh, we don't bring it up. We didn't bring it up. I walked in the locker room when it was over. It was just one of those nights. I mean, it just wasn't going to be from the opening tip. And you get 2 or 3 of those a year. You really do. You just get to Freeburg was another one. I can go back and tell you, I can identify, I think probably Freeburg, and when we played in the STU tournament at 10 o'clock in the morning over there was one, and then Heron was one. There were 2. They were definitely lemons with everything that. Sometimes you just show up and nothing goes right. And for whatever reason, we went over there, up there, or down there, and just nothing went right. And it kind of snowballed, and by the second quarter, it was going even worse. And then everybody's upset, and it just snowballs. And a lot of it's mental. When you don't get off to a very good start, and you've gone through a day or two of everybody patting you on the back and telling you how proud they are of you being conference champions in the South 7. And then you head to Heron in a tough environment. And listen, they're pretty good too. I mean, there's no question about it. I mean, they're solid. I mean, they've won 22 games this year, and they've lost a total of 4. They have 1 forfeit. I'm sorry, they've lost a total of 5. They've actually won 21 in that 1 forfeit, so it makes it 22. But listen, they're pretty good. And when you throw all the combinations in that I just mentioned, just the fact that, the kids have just come off a really emotional 3-day stretch, and it's Heron's senior night, and they're pretty good. And they also play zone, and you're either going to have to shoot it and do well or not, and we didn't. And it's just one of those nights. I mean, and so the answer to your question, the short answer is no, I didn't focus on it at all. In the whole scheme of thing, that game really meant nothing. What means something to us now is taking these regional games one at a time and starting Monday night with Centralia.
And, of course, a big regional coming, but we wrap it up with the WMIX Sports Social Media Question of the Week. Winter Olympics going on right now. We want to know, what is your favorite Olympic sport to watch?
Okay, there's 2 of them. I really enjoy the downhill skiing. The guys that just fly down the mountain and are on the edge of disaster all the time, racing for time. And I like call that where they slide the big giant puck down the ice and they try to get it in the ring. But curling? Right?
Yeah.
Curling.
Yes.
Curling, where they got the brooms.
Yes, I know what curling is. I love it myself.
Yes. That is a fantastic thing. I love to watch that. It's kind of like like shuffleboard, but yet it's not shuffleboard, because you have guys out there with little brooms that are sweeping the heck out of the ice, trying to get the influence the big giant puck to get closer to the circle. I don't think I understand it very well, but it's fascinating to watch.
I think it's one of the better Olympic sports, in my opinion, especially in the Winter Games. But, Jeff, you have a busy week this week, of course, with the Massac County Regional. It all starts for you on Monday versus Centralia Annies. We'll see you Monday night, and good luck to the Lady Rams.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Their game is at 6 o'clock Monday. You can watch it at WMIXsports.com or listen to it on 94.1 FM with a 5:45 pregame. A win against Centralia would mean another 6 o'clock game from Massac on Tuesday, as the winner will get the Carbondale Terriers. Should the Lady Rams win Monday night, we'll have that game for you on 94.1 FM again on Tuesday, and then the Mount Vernon Rams will immediately follow, all on Tuesday night. Glad to have you with us for the Saturday Sports Show as we head into the 9 o'clock hour. Of course, we'll take a break, come back, and get you set with the WMIXsports.com scoreboard, and then Rick Metcalf will follow after another break. This is the Saturday Sports Show, cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
Back after these.
If you've been trying to buy a car with a challenging credit history, you've discovered that it can be discouraging. But there is good news. I mean really good news. Not all buy here, pay here dealerships are the same. Second Chance Auto really is different. For 34 years, Second Chance Auto has guaranteed to give you the best value for every dollar you spend. Listen, did you know that at some dealerships, if you buy an $8,000 vehicle with minimal down, it could end up costing you $2,000 more? At Second Chance Auto, they'll explain how you can save more on the total cost of your vehicle. No surprises, just honest deals, bank rate financing for all, and a truly dependable vehicle with the best value for your hard-earned dollar. This tax season, use your refund where it will go the farthest. Let Second Chance Auto earn your business and your trust. You won't be disappointed. Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Call today, 244-4582.
If you can't pick us up where you live, move. This is WMIX, Mount Vernon, Marion, another Withers Broadcasting Station.
When you hear the warm, inviting sound of a crackling fire, what comes to mind? A rustic campground? A cozy cabin? How about the new Good Samaritan Regional Health Center? Our new family lounges feature a lot of comforts you might not expect. Things like this. No, that's not a babbling brook or serene stream out in the countryside. It's a 2-story waterfall located right here at Good Samaritan. And that's not the only way we're raising the bar for patient comfort. We've added lush healing gardens, as well as wall after wall of beautiful artwork, all designed to create the perfect healing atmosphere. And if all this sounds like music to your ears, we encourage you to check us out. Chances are, we're not too far from where you are right now.
The new Good Samaritan Regional Health Center. Raising a hospital, raising the bar.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new One Account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations with 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Saturday Sports Show, WMIX, WMIXsports.com for the second hour, of course. It's cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
WMIX scoreboard coming your way.
Oh, girls basketball last night. Wayne City beat Glacier Thompsonville 59-44. Goreville beat Pope County 57-18. New Athens beat Sandoval 60-46. That was 1A regional titles. 2A regional titles, at Carmi, Harrisburg beat Hamilton County 58-48. And Carterville beat Murphy 55-46. South 7 play last night. Mount Vernon overtime over Marion 66-63. Centralia wins at Carbondale 71-70. Cokia wins at Althoff 71-70 in overtime. Oh, we'll go down and check out the Central State 8 for new things. Chatham over Springfield 72-44. Lincoln over Rochester 66-28. SHG over Jacksonville 64-59. And Southeast beat Taylorville 72-54. In the Valley last night, Jersey over Triad 52-46. Waterloo wins again 64-58 over Highland. River to River, AJ beat Pinckneyville 68-63. Sparta got DuQuoin 46-35. And Carterville will play at Nashville on Monday in a snow postponement. Harrisburg beat Benton at home 62-39. West Frankfort wins again 54-46 over Murphy. In the Southwestern Conference, Alton over Collinsville 57-56. East St. Louis beat Belleville West 65-44. Edwardsville beat Granite City 64-40. And O'Fallon beat Beast Belleville East 56-51. Those scores and more at WMIXsports.com.
There you go, WMIXsports.com scoreboard. Of course, we need to take another break. When we come back, we'll have Rick Metcalf, head coach of the Cessna-Valliere-Waltonville Lady Devils. They win their second regional title in 3 years last night, or actually on Thursday night. They will play the Nashville Hornets. Of course, we'll talk with Coach Metcalf after the break. The Saturday Sports Show is presented by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
Back after these.
Too expensive to get back into shape? Not anymore. Rend Lake College's new fitness center is only $53 per semester. They've also thought of everything with universal machines, free weights, treadmills with dedicated TV screens, ellipticals, and more. Qualified dance instructors are also available. Or go at your own pace with DVDs that can be used in the exercise room. Best of all, it's open 7 days a week. Check out the Rend Lake College Fitness Center in the Marketplace off Potomac Boulevard in Mount Vernon. Or log on to rendlakecollege.edu/Fit Center.
High school basketball is heating up as February fever turns into March Madness. Hi, this is Rick Pigg, Vice President from Community First Bank, the official voice of high school sports on WMIX. We're excited about this postseason games involving Rams, Lady Rams, and our showcase teams over the coming weeks. Find a full schedule of high-quality streaming at WMIXsports.com. Or keep your dial locked in on WMIX High School Hoops from WMIX Sports, presented by Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to Personal Banking.
The health of your kidneys has a big impact on your overall health, affecting everything from your blood pressure to your bones. And if you ever have a kidney problem, Dr. Kangura is here to help. Dr. Kangura trained at the Mayo Clinic and specializes in conditions ranging from kidney stones and uncontrolled high blood pressure to chronic kidney disease. Dr. Kangura sees patients at Crossroads Specialty Clinic. For an appointment, call 618-241-9071.
And we welcome you back on the Saturday Sports Show, WMIX and WMIXsports.com. Cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
Yeah, it's what healthcare should be.
That's Danny Zerwinski. I'm Chris Hugo in studio with you until 10 o'clock. Of course, our next guest, very successful in his stint. Very successful everywhere he's been, but very successful in his stint as the head coach of the Cessna-Valliere-Waltonville Lady Devils. Second regional title in 3 years. Coach Rick Metcalf, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me on today.
Always a pleasure. And, of course, you guys win another regional. You beat the Benton Rangerettes on Thursday night, and you do it after losing quite a bit of talent to graduation last year. You had quite a bit of experience returning, though, but all in all, just another good season for SVW basketball.
Yeah, we knew, the foundation was definitely there, to have a good year. And, we had some role players step up. We put them in the slots, to be the go-to people, and they've come through with bright colors.
When you've been in this for a long time, this basketball business, and I've been trying to rack my brain about records, how many wins you have going on. I don't believe you've had a losing season in your career. Can you tell us if you have or not? Number two, how does all that experience carry over to helping a team get to this point, even though they're very experienced coming back for this regional championship?
Well, yeah, I have had one losing record. It was back in 1985 was the last time, and the only time, the first time, I guess, it was my second year coaching when I was down at Joppa, Illinois. The first year we went 16-9, and from what I've been told, that's the last time Joppa's had a winning record. It was my first year, and the second year wasn't very good. We had to start 4 freshmen on the varsity. Great kids, just weren't very talented, but yeah, it's been a long time.
Speaking of, get back to the game on Thursday night. Obviously, you've already beat Benton once this year. Then you have to play them again. You're playing an impact environment there at DuQuoin, at the auxiliary gym. Talk about the emotions going into that game. Kids know each other. It's a rivalry. You've played against Benton a lot, coached against Benton a lot over the years with a big, successful record. I mean, all this goes into this game. How much did you have to kind of contain the emotion of your players to keep them under control to take care of business?
Well, with this team it's a little bit different, because you got a veteran team, seniors, they've been through it. They've always kept their emotions above average. There hasn't been very many highs and lows. Always an even keel. So that didn't, to be honest with you, that didn't even come into play. They just it was another game. scouting report and everything's the same. You know, of course, it said Ben on their jerseys. And as far as rivalries go and all that, they did. You know, the girls never even said anything about it. You know, we were the number one seed in the region. We were supposed to win that game, and we did.
First, you know, in that ball game, you had to battle through. Of course, Benton's going to put up a fight, a young up-and-coming team under Andy Salone. In that situation, when you're playing against a team like that, that's got nothing to lose, I think there's more pressure on your team being a senior-laden team. What things happened in that game to kind of sway it to your side to get the victory on Thursday night?
You know, that's a good question. I thought Coach Sloan's game plan was definitely sound. He ran a couple people out on us, you know, his guards, early in the game, you know, because we knew with their size inside that we were going to have to hit the boards. So, you know, shot go up miss, and his guards were flying down the other end. And, you know, we took care of that. And at halftime, I believe the score was 19-19, and it just seemed like to me they were just a little bit more gassed than what we were. You know, they had to exert a lot of energy. They maintained that lead throughout the first half, and then we came back and tied it up. And then in the third quarter, we just took off. You know, the girls pretty much say, you know, we got to get after this in the first 5 minutes. And I think the thing, you know, when you're talking personnel that stands out was the play of Daisy Edmondson. You know, my little point guard, I mean, she just had an outstanding game, you know, handled the pressure real well, and Maddie Garner stepped up to the plate as well.
You get the win, you beat Benton, a rival across the way, and now you get to move on to the West Frankfort Sectional. You've played there, you played in the Midwinter Tournament. You get the Nashville Hornets, the defending Class 2A state champs. Lost to them, I believe, last year in a regional final. What can you take from that, if anything at all, heading into this matchup against Nashville on Tuesday?
Well, one thing for sure, it's going to be a physical game. I can't see it being too much more physical than the one that we played against Benton. So that's got to prepare us for that. You know, we pretty much just got manhandled last year by Nashville, but we were more of a finesse team. You know, we were more. You know, we had the quick guards. You know, with the traps and the full court stuff. Well, this year, you know, we kind of, you know, got down in the bunker, so to speak, a little bit, and you know, so I think that's going to be part of it. You know, we're going to have to, you know, just get down there, and we're going to have to out-rebound them.
Well, of course, you know, big one coming up on Tuesday. And, Coach, our final question is always the WMIX Sports social media question of the week. And I know you're a busy guy, maybe not a lot of time to watch the Olympics, but if you could watch the Winter Olympics, which sport would be your favorite?
The Winter Olympics. Okay, that's an interesting one. Which sport would I watch? Well, I have been watching a little bit of it. Probably just the downhill skiing, I guess, would be the big thing. I'm just going to go with the layman answer on this one.
Okay. You got other things to do, we understand, you know, if you're going to go with that kind of answer. Even though a lot of
I was trying to fit in Kentucky basketball in there somehow, but I just couldn't think of something that fast off the top of my head to do with the Olympics.
Hey, as bad as we're playing, we're freezing our own selves out. We don't need any winter weather.
Yeah, I hear you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man. Coach, good luck Tuesday night against Nashville.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. That's Rick Metcalf, head coach of the SVW Lady Devils, and they'll have the Nashville Hornets on Tuesday night in the West Frankfort section. We'll talk with Wayne Hari about his Hornets a little bit later on in the program. We still have Jake Stewart and Mike Shamness to come here on the Saturday Sports Show. It's cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
Back with Jake Stewart after these.
I'm Jeremy Pearson with a look at your next rad weather. It'll be cold today with sunshine mixing with clouds. There can be a little snow in the afternoon north of Mount Vernon, high 28. Mostly cloudy tonight, low 23. We'll see a blend of clouds and sunshine tomorrow, high 35. And Monday will be cloudy with showers, high 42. Next rad weather from WMIX, Mount Vernon, Illinois.
Convenience is what the Medicine Shop Pharmacy in Mount Vernon is all about. During these cold winter months, take advantage of our free local delivery service to your home or office, or use one of our 2 drive-through windows where a staff member is always ready to serve you. If you take several medications and have trouble remembering what to take and when to take it, Ask pharmacist Eric Black about medication planners. These blister packs make it so easy to take the correct medications on time. In a recent poll, patients 65 years old and older who use medications found that more than 50% take at least 5 different prescription drugs regularly. Those polled admit they forget to take their medications. Don't let this happen to you. Stop by and ask us about our medication planners. Remember, drugs don't work in patients who don't take them. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon, or give them a call, 618-242-8776.
America is a nation on wheels. Everyone has at least one automobile. We use them for shopping, work, everything we do. But they can be a threat. Some accidents can't be prevented. Your professional Pekin Insurance Agency, Page Insurance on Crownview in Mount Vernon, can help protect you from a large financial loss when an accident happens. Call Page Insurance today at 242-7000 about low-cost auto insurance from Pekin Insurance. Ask them about the many money-saving discounts that are available. Depend on your hometown professionals. Pekin Insurance.
And we welcome you back on the Saturday Sports Show, WMIX and WMIXSports.com. Glad to have you. Chris Hugo with Danny Zerwinski alongside. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. Saturday Sports Show is cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
Our next guest is the head coach of the Harrisburg Lady Bulldogs. They beat Hamilton County in the Carmi Regional Championship last night, 58-48. He is Jake Stewart. Coach, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
You know, it has to be a great morning. Get a 10-point win over Hamilton County last night in a regional title game. You head on to the sectional. And I think anytime this day and age you can claim to be a regional champion, you have to be pretty excited.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Came from a tough regional with Flamesboro and El Dorado, even Carmine, Fairfield. Fairfield beat us, and they're the last seed. They beat us earlier this year after the Christmas tournament. They were the last seed, so we were the 3 seed. Right, anytime you can win a regional this day and age is something special.
I got to ask this. There was a lot of things swirling last night in Carmine. Obviously, nothing to do with your team. But obviously, the team you were playing last night, Hamilton County, had some stuff going on. Was there any concern about your team staying focused on their job at hand and not worried about who was or was not playing against you last night?
I knew what was going on, kind of, with the Cooper girl. When they played Fairfield, she was setting out. I'm friends with a few coaches and heard from them. The kids, they know how good she is, and they were asking about her, and I just kept telling them, don't worry. And then when we won against El Dorado, and we were going to the championship to play them, the next day at practice, they were like, what's going on? Is she going to play? Like, or not? And I was like, yeah, I just told them that she was going to play. We assumed that she was going to play, and Thursday we prepared for her to play, and they thought they came Carmi thinking that Cooper was going to play, and they were focused on her playing. When she didn't, we just adjusted.
Looking at your team, of course, your team has been very successful all year, and I remember this program 4, 5, 6 years ago before you took over. Not as much a success now. To get it from there to regional championship, how long a road has that been, or did you think in your mind it took very long to get to this point?
Whenever I took over, the team came off a 1-26 season, and then the next year, my seniors' freshman year, they were 4-24. I knew that we had some good players. I knew we had talent. I thought that they just needed a little extra push. And as sophomores, we won 8 games, 4 more than they did the previous year, my first year. And I told them we lost like 10 games that were within 5 points. So I told the kids, we had to come in the summer. We got to do, make that extra push. And then last year we won 21, and this year we're at 21. I don't think, it's pretty much, it was a 2-year turnaround, but I give all the credit to the girls because, they honestly come in the summer, they show up for everything, they work hard. We have 10 to 15 girls come in every day in the summer, and we play 30 summer games, so it's all, they wanted it. They went out and got it.
Speaking of going out and you get your regional title last night. Oddly enough, Harrisburg, which is obviously smack dab in Southern Illinois, doesn't get to play in Southern Illinois. You guys have to go to Casey and take on T-Town, a nice long trip to Casey Westfield. But a different look, different team. Are you excited about the fact you get to play T-Town, which is a different look for your team?
Yeah, we know T-Town. We play them this summer at Salem. I think they're just by 8. Southern ball don't matter. We kind of know them. I'm going to start getting on the phone after I do this and try to get some info, some film on them. I have a little bit on them already. Man, T-Town basketball, boys, girls, whatever they have over there, is always very good. It's going to be exciting. We have them all. I looked up, everybody's asking where's Casey at, and I kept telling them I don't know, but I want to find out. And we're going to find out where it is. I know it's a 30-minute drive for T-Town, 2.5 for us. We're going to leave early. They'll probably have a bigger crowd than we do, but we're going to give T-Town all we have, so we're excited.
And Harris, of course, you guys out of that tough Ohio division. When you look around, Benton was in a regional final. Heron's going to play this week with Massac in a very tough regional. You win a regional championship. Murphy, I believe, was in a regional title. I mean, this is a conference on that side that the girls' basketball talent has really improved. And I don't know what I want your thoughts. Is it probably the deepest the Ohio division has been top to bottom as far as girls' basketball goes?
Oh, definitely. I mean, this is my 3rd year, and I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing that Murfreesboro was maybe finished second to last in the conference. They played for a title. West Frankfort finished in the conference maybe last or second. They beat us twice. They're very good. Benton is really good. They're going to be scary next year. Benton. Heron, Coach Green, very good. Massac, very good. And the thing about our conference is next year everybody has people returning, so it's not going to be, this year it's really good. The past 2 years it's been really good. Next year it might be the best year our conference has had from top to bottom. So I think it's the best basketball conference, especially our side, as in competitive, and from top to bottom being really good.
I would be remiss, before I ask you our social media question, I would be remiss if I did not ask why your college basketball team could not get on the bus and drive 5 minutes the other night and play a basketball game. Was it too cold, too snowy, or all the above?
Oh, my, I cannot believe you just asking that, really. You know what? I was very happy that it happened. We're all in Carmine. I wasn't able to watch the game. First one I ever watched the one, so we played on rail that night. But, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I mean,
I just wanted to catch you off guard.
5 miles, you're right.
Yeah,
I just wanted 5 mile drive. But go ahead.
As I said, I just wanted to catch you off guard a little bit, give you a hard time.
Oh, you got me on that one, but I don't know.
Hey,
I'll think we're scared of UNC.
Yeah, go ahead, finish your thought, and I'll wait.
I don't think we're scared of UNC. I mean, I think Duke's won like the past. I know the past 2 from last year. I think 7 out of the last 9. So I'm pretty sure that they already had the doors locked whenever it starts snowing in Chapel Hill.
Hey, our final question for you also involves snow and winter and everything, ice. And this question is, for this week, our WMIX Sports social media question of the week is, what Olympics winter... Actually, let's start this over. What is your favorite sport to watch during the Winter Olympics?
Curling.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, curling.
That's
like shuffleboard. I'm shuffleboard, so curling definitely number one for me.
Right, and everybody, I get into, that's the one I know hockey's on. We just had a great game where USA beat Russia in a shootout, but curling's the one I could sit back and watch for hours because there's so much strategy and so much thing to do. It's something I've always wanted to try, even though I wouldn't be very good, just wanted to try to see what would happen.
I know I want to get on the ice skates and, brush the ice all the way down to the end. I mean, I can honestly say I watch it a lot when the Olympics come on. I still don't understand it, but I still watch it.
That's the beauty of curling. And, of course, Coach, we wish you the best of luck at the KZ Sectional, certainly the local favorite as the Harrisburg Lady Bulldogs head up there. So we hope that you guys do well and hopefully talk a sectional title with you, Coach Stewart. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Bye.
That's Shake Stewart, of course, head coach of the Harrisburg Lady Bulldogs, and they'll take on T-Town. The winner of that game gets the winner of the Mount Carmel Regional, which is to be played tonight due to the weather last night. And, of course, Sullivan is the other team in that KZ Westfield Regional, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll take a break on the Saturday Sports Show. When we come back, we'll talk with Mike Chamness. He is the head coach of the Anna Jonesboro Wildcats. They beat Pinckneyville last night. It's all coming up on the Saturday Sports Show. Stay tuned. It's powered by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
Back after these.
This is your local State Farm agent, Tony Wilt. I want to thank Mount Vernon and the surrounding area for continuing to support us over the past 5 years. If you have never sat down with someone to go over your insurance program, let me invite you into our office. Let us show you what working with the industry leader, represented by a local agent, can do for you. I'm located just off 42nd Street. You can reach our office 24 hours a day at 242-1421 or on the web at tonywilt.com. Thanks again, and go Rams.
Hi, Roy Schmidt, Ford Lincoln dealer at Ford Square, Mount Vernon. Construction, heavy hauling, emergency vehicles, agriculture, forestry, utility services. Within these and countless other essential industries, the guys and gals who do the toughest work count on one heavy-duty truck more than any other, the Ford F-Series Super Duty. Day in and day out, built Ford tough. Diesel and gas powertrains enable F-Series Super Duties to pump out plenty of horsepower and torque, along with great fuel economy. At Ford Square, we have cash-back incentives up to $5,500 on F Super Duties and a great selection right now. Come see one of our sales associates at Ford Square, 1501 Broadway in Mount Vernon, Illinois, where the best never rest. And you can also view all of our inventory, new and pre-owned, at fordsquare.com.
High school basketball is heating up as February fever turns into March Madness. Hi, this is Megan Moss, teller from Community First Bank, the official voice of high school sports on WMIX. We're excited about the postseason games involving Rams, Lady Rams, and our showcase teams over the coming weeks. Find our full schedule and high-quality streaming at WMIXsports.com or keep your dial locked on WMIX. High School Hoops from WMIX Sports presented by Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to Personal Banking.
Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Show, WMIX and WMIXsports.com, cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what healthcare should be.
That's Danny Zerwinski. I'm Chris Hugo. Avery Barton with us in studio as well until 10 o'clock. We welcome our next guest to the program. He is the head coach of the Anna Jonesboro Wildcats. He is Mike Chamness, and, of course, in River to River, Mississippi play last night. They got a big 68-63 win over the Pinckneyville Panthers. Coach, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Pretty good. Always tough to play Pinckneyville, whether at home or on the road, but AJ gets a big win in Mississippi play last night. Have to feel pretty good this morning.
Yeah, feel pretty good. Our guys, were really excited, and it was a good win to have last week. Had 2 games on the road against 2 really good teams. Got beat at Carterville and beat by Fairfield, and so we needed a good quality win.
Last night, looking at a deficit late, I believe 12, 14 points, maybe a couple 9-digit deficits at the time. What did you guys have to do to kind of change things, change your luck to get back in and get this win at home?
Well, yeah, we were down 12 going into the fourth, and we were down 4 at half, and then third quarter they came out and hit some buckets. And going into the fourth quarter, down 12, we got a 3 to start the quarter to cut it to 9, which was big, and then changed some things up defensively a little bit and got some steals. And Zach Parr, our point guard, had 2 points at half and ended with 24. Just kind of took over in the fourth quarter, causing some pressure on defense that translated into some points on offense. And as soon as we were close and got a little closer, and I thought if we could get the lead, that we weren't going to give it up. And we finally took the lead, I believe, 62-61, and then never did look back.
And I like the fact, too, I think your team needed something last night, and last night they get that big win at home. And I think for your team, heading into a regional with Carterville, who's played very well, this may be the kind of game that kind of gets your team mentally ready, get them over the hump, and be ready to go once postseason comes in a couple of weeks.
I think so too. You know, we don't like to talk about the regional a lot before the regional because you got games. You know, you don't like to look ahead. But this year we've kind of talked about it. The regional's at home, and we're a different team at home than we are on the road. And you know, so the last few weeks we've kind of talked about it a little bit, so the guys kind of know, you know, what's going to happen. You know, we got the 2 seeds. And we've beaten Carterville at home this year, and you know, our first game in the regional will be against Murphy. We've beaten them at home, but I want the guys to kind of know, you know, what's going to happen in 2 weeks. But you know, I think so. You know, we got a big game tonight at DuQuoin, and then finish up next Friday with Sparta at home. So hopefully that game last night gave us some momentum headed in the final stretch here to hopefully put together a string of some wins.
And get a big win. That's nice to have. As far as makeups and cancellations, have you been able to get everything covered and taken care of up to this point?
Yeah, we have. We've only the Goreville tournament early, you know, got pushed back a little bit. We finished it, and then had a snow out against Nashville early that we rescheduled, you know, a few days later. But yeah, we're all caught up.
Caught up, and then, of course, the regional, of course, I believe, with Carterville's number 1, you're number 2. I mean, you don't want to look too far down the road, but at possibility, things going right, your team could make a deep run as far as the postseason is concerned.
Yeah, we talked to the kids, I think, Thursday, and, you know, the guys, you know, it's been since 2004, which was my senior year of high school, that we played in a regional championship game. And, you know, a regional championship game, which, you know, not to look past Murfreesboro, they're a good team. We've got to take care of business there first. But, you know, if we can get to the regional championship against, you know, presumably probably Carterville on our home floor, you know, that's where we want to be. And I think our kids understand that. And not to look past the next 3 games coming up, but, you know, that's if we can get to that point, hopefully, the chips fall in place for us.
Chips fall or may. Your Wolverines, you kind of
Yep.
happy with them so far basketball this year? Or you want a little bit more out of them?
You know, they're kind of exceeded my expectations after losing Burke and Hardaway, and then McGarry, losing him early. You know, they've kind of put together a string of wins. You know, of course, they got beat at Indiana, but you know, had a big win at Ohio State, and they're in first place in the Big Ten. So, you know, they've exceeded my expectations so far.
Okay. I was worried about you. I hadn't seen anything on Twitter lately. I was worried maybe you had gotten off the wagon and were going into hiding.
No, we'll wait until about mid to late March to start that up.
Oh, well, we'll see you in mid to late March, I'm sure, up north. Our final question for you this week is our WMIX Sports social media question of the week, and this week's question is, what is your favorite sport to watch during the Olympics?
Olympic sport or just sport in general?
Any sport in the Winter Olympics. What do you want to watch?
Oh, man. You know, that's tough. You know, curling, definitely the best.
Yep.
No, I would say probably hockey.
Right. That's kind of what we just got through. We're reading on Twitter and seeing highlights that hockey kind of moved up the lexicon of people's sports here in the last 30 minutes or so after the USA beat Russia this morning already. We kind of agree with that. It's hockey and curling, no doubt.
But the sport I watched the most during this last 2 weeks has been college basketball, which has nothing to do with the Olympics.
Right. Yeah, I agreed, yes.
Coach, good luck to the AJ Wildcats. Of course, you head into postseason play, and I'm sure we'll see you in Peoria.
All right, thanks, guys.
That's Mike Chambliss, head coach of the AJ Wildcats, and a big win for them last night in Mississippi play. And, of course, we'll talk to another head coach whose team got a big win on Thursday night, also against Pinckneyville. He is Wayne Hari, head coach of the Nashville Hornets. The world does not know a Hornets team coached by Wayne Hari that has not won a regional championship. He's won a regional title, if I'm not mistaken, every year he's been at Nashville. We'll talk with Wayner next after the break here on the Saturday Sports Show, cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what health care should be.
Back after these.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. By now you have heard about our new One Checking product. The new One Account is a high-interest earning, free checking account designed for everyone. Unlike other banks that pay interest on higher balance, this account pays interest on all balances. From high schoolers to Warren Buffett, One will work for you. You can talk to one of us at 244-3000 and learn about the details. One, exclusively at Community First Bank. You will be one happy customer. Member FDIC.
This is Chase Landers with Landers Collision Centers. Imagine this. You're driving down the road. It's dark as can be outside. Thank goodness you just had that left headlight bulb replaced. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see a thing. Now, close your eyes. Okay, don't close your eyes. You're supposed to be driving. Imagine noticing a slight twinkle off to the left, just above the ditch. What is that, you think to yourself? All of a sudden, whap! You've just encountered your first deer hit. The left side of your vehicle is beat up pretty bad. The next thing I want you to imagine is very simple. Picking up your phone and dialing 1-888 Landers to set up your repair. Deer claims are common, and usually a very simple process, which fall under comprehensive coverage. This is Chase Landers, asking you to allow Landers to be your collision repair shop of choice. Whether it be a deer hit, fender bender, or the regular, uh-oh, sorry mom, Landers is here for you whenever you need us. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. 1-888 Landers, that's 1-888 Landers.
A digestive problem can affect every area of your life. But now there's a specialist right here in town who focuses on digestive health. Mayo Clinic trained Dr. Tegpaul Atwal has opened the only gastroenterology clinic in Mount Vernon. Dr. Atwal treats acid reflux, gallbladder problems, inflammatory bowel disease, ulcers, and more. For your appointment with Dr. Atwal at Crossroads Specialty Clinic, call 618-241-9071.
And we welcome you back to the Saturday Sports Show, WMIX and WMIXsports.com, cared for by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital.
It's what health care should be.
I think he's over the disappointment of not making the All-Century team for SIU basketball. Wayne Hari is the head coach of the Nashville Hornets. He makes up for it with another regional championship in Nashville. Coach, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
I mean, whether it's conference championships or regional titles, you just keep doing it over and over and over. And I asked you last week if it was old hat, I think is what I said with the conference titles. Same thing with the regionals. I mean, did you just know as soon as you got into coaching that this was something you were going to do pretty well every year?
I don't think so. When you play, let's see. I played sports in high school. I guess I tried anyway. But anyway, I think I won as a player. I think I won one regional title, and that was in baseball. And so when I got in coaching, I didn't know I'd ever win one. So, but I've been pretty fortunate. Since I got into coaching, I've been an assistant. I've been being an assistant on some good teams, and as a coach, and winning some regionals and getting to the state tournament, and in basketball. I've been fortunate enough to win, 14 in a row here, and it's just, you got to have some luck, guys. I think it's all part of it because you're going to have injuries. We've had injuries in the past, and you got to have some sickness, and we've had some luck, and had some good fortune here, and it seems like I've been blessed here with some good players and good assistant coaches, and it's all got to go together, and I never take them for granted. I always tell them after the game, or if we'd have every time if we'd win those regionals, don't take it for granted, because I said, guys, I never won one, and I appreciate you guys taking me along for the ride. So they know that, those girls know that, and those players know that. So when I got into it, there's no way I'd ever thought I was going to win that many, and to be part of that is something special.
Was there any more pressure this year to win it because the regional was at Nashville, or is that just kind of the same as it goes along year after year?
Well, there's always. I think it's. I was talking to Coach Whitty, after they won I assisted with him, and we won the state title in softball. It's hard to keep it. I think sometimes it's harder to keep things going at a high level sometimes, and you're good, and then you drop off, and people, okay. But now everybody thinks, well, you should just win, and that's not the case. I mean, everybody's trying to beat you. I mean, you should just win because you show up. That's not the way things go. A lot of people are trying to beat you. You're trying to keep things at a high level, and it's tough on the girls. There's no doubt about that. And it's tough on every day trying to stay focused. And this group especially, we're not. And I think people have watched us play, and you guys watched us play. We're not as talented as we were last year. There's no question about that.
but yet they've come to play and they've tried, and I told them, before the season started, every time you step on the floor, people are going to say, well, it's the defending state champs now. But, they know that they're not as talented as we were last year. But that doesn't make any difference, because if somebody beats you, they beat the defending state champs. So they've really done a good job with it. Every time, people give us their best shot, and they've done a good job with a team that's not as talented as we have been here in the past. So I'm pretty proud of them.
Well, definitely an effort to be proud of year in and year out between the conference championships and the regional titles. Now you have a rematch with Cessna-Valliere-Waltonville Lady Devils, a game that was actually a Cessna-sectional semifinal last time back in 2012. Two different teams coming in on Tuesday night. Probably Nashville the favorite in that one, of course, as SVW comes in, the champions of the DuQuoin Regional. But should be another great matchup, a good test for the Hornets on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cesar's a very quality team. I think they've kind of went under the radar this year. I think they're as good as they were last year. I really do. I think with the size they have and good athletes that they've got out there, and with Coach Metcalf at the helm, I think they are a quality team with quality players, and they know basketball. They like that. They love basketball. They play all the time over there. So we'll definitely have our hands full with them. I mean, we're going to do what we can, and I know they've had a lot of success in the postseason, and I know they'll be prepared for us. Coach Metcalf will have them prepared, and like I said, they kind of went on the radar, and I think people will see how actually good they are Tuesday night.
Final question for you, because we know you're busy, because you're getting loaded up to go Bigfoot hunting or something, or watch film. But our final question for you today is, what is your favorite sport to watch of the Winter Olympics? What sport in the Winter Olympics do you like to watch?
Well, I don't call them Lund or whatever those sleds. I call them just sleds because back when I was little, we'd get those red sleds, and that's what I call them. But I'm always thinking about myself going down there, and maybe you guys did too. You guys going down on that sleds about 80 miles an hour, and trying to drive those things in that tunnel. That would be kind of neat. But you're awful close to the ground, so I don't know if that would be a good thing or a bad thing. But I kind of like watching that. I kind of get into it a little bit, and I'm just thinking about me with on that red sled going down those hills when I was little in grade school, when we used to get all that snow like we did this year.
Yeah, the big hills in Nashville. Where do you go in Nashville to get on those sleds? You go out in the country, or are there some hills in town that you can get after?
Well, we had pasture for our cows, so we'd have to go out in those pastures with those cows. We got, if you can't farm it, you're going to fence it and you're going to put cows out there when I was little. So that's kind of what we did, and we'd find those big hills with me and my brothers and some friends we had, and we'd have a good time. Let me tell you.
Well, always a good time, I'm sure. Anytime that Nashville and Wayne Hari and any type of winter precipitation is involved. Coach, best of luck to the Hornets, of course, this coming week at the West Frankfort Sectional.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
That's Wayne Hari, head coach of Nashville, and, of course, 14 consecutive conference and regional crowns for the Hornets, and a whole heap and helping of trophies at the IHSA State Finals as well. And, of course, that's a pretty good sectional at West Frankfort. Carterville, Nashville, Central, and SVW. Pretty good sectional, I'd say.
It's not bad. I think, obviously, the prohibited favorite is Bree Central.
Oh, yes.
Then I think, I remember the old ratings where they used to come out in the paper long moons ago where they used to rate the sectionals, and people would vote on who's got the better chance to win. And I think if you did that system, speaking honestly, Bree Central would be a 1. Cesar would probably be a 2. Not Cesar, Nashville would probably be a 2. Carterville probably a 3, and Cesar a 4 because, Carterville playing some bigger schools, but again, Cessna-Valliere could also fit in that mold. I think those two are neck and neck. So very interesting to see with Carterville and Cessna-Valliere-Waltonville walking in on Tuesday night at West Frankfort carrying a slingshot in their hand, getting ready to go.
Well, and I think the thing with SVW in that sectional is the fact, sure, they'd probably be 4, but the X factor anything could happen on any given night. And of course, a team that kind of has two 1A schools making a 2A school, and kind of that mentality that play above and tougher than probably what they should have to. But just a great job that Rick Metcalf's done there. Obviously, Wayne Harry's done a brilliant job at Nashville, and you look at Carterville under Matt Crane this year and the job that he's done, getting over 25 wins and a regional crown. And then Central, I mean, the goose egg and the loss column just continue to roll and continue to be strong, and how they do that and how they're able to put successful teams together, boys and girls, having both of those high schools in the same community is just absolutely incredible. And that should be a dandy of a sectional in 2A here in the South. Of course, the 1A sectional in the South, it's Wayne City and Cairo on Tuesday night. We have that game for you on AM 940 and WMIXsports.com. And then, of course, I believe you have Goreville and Cobden in the other. And, previous years, that's a battle to get to a super, of course, usually how it's drawn out. Probably the last two sectional champs, I believe, from that particular sectional in the South. Not quite the luster of past.
It's not, but it's still a very good sectional, and Goreville's still a very good team. I've seen them this year. They're still a very good team. They probably be a favorite. The unknown quantity is Cairo.
Ooh, yeah.
Cairo had some success in the mid-'80s, beat Woodlawn in a super in '85 girls play, but have kind of had a pretty good year in Southern Illinois, and nobody really knows a lot about the co-pilots. So you kind of have that factor as Goreville being the old wily veteran, having to make some runs here lately. They'd be the favorite, but you can't count Wayne City out because they're playing some pretty good basketball right now down there in Wayne City. But when you get this time of year, everybody's good, everybody's got a run, and everybody's got some momentum of different kinds. But I think Goreville probably the favorite right now in that sectional.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. And you talk about Cairo, probably the best team you never hear about in terms of girls basketball. Very tough to find information on, very tough to get a feel for. And, Cairo Wayne City should definitely be interesting on Tuesday night on WMIX AM and WMIXsports.com. And, of course, you have a thought on your mind.
I do. I got several.
What's first?
Complicated. Off-air complications.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
You'll have that,
I know.
unfortunately.
Yeah, people text me last night with different things going on about what games where, what time, and who and with. I'm going to come right back at you, and I'm going to do it a different way.
Oh, the SIJHSAA wraps up Class S today. Of course, the Blueford Trojans, congratulations on a great season. They'll play for third place today in the 2:30 game. That should be an interesting game, of course, and a close loss to a good Giant City team. I mean, Giant City, when you have an eighth grade kid that can dunk, I mean, obviously things are going well for you, and the future looking very bright for the Carbondale Terriers with that pipeline. But you have Blueford, and then it's Adams School out of Creole Springs for third place at 2:30.
Marion.
And then Giant City out of New Hope, or Giant City and New Hope in the championship. New Hope's that school you used to see on your grade school schedule and be like, where are they?
Yes.
I still have no
idea.
idea.
See him at state baseball tournament, go, what?
Yeah.
See him at Wren Lake, who? Yeah.
It'd be on the Rome girls schedule when I was a kid. My sister played. I'd be like, huh?
Yeah.
It's like, do I have to go there? I still have no clue because I was too young to be cognizant of where things were back then. But Class M did wrap up last night. And, of course, Redbud beat the Fairfield Colts 42-33. And then Goreville beat Cairo 59-54. And I'm sure that was a good one.
Yeah, Goreville's got some talent. I mean, next 2 or 3 years, you're going to hear Goreville. I know they've been good all these years. They got some more talent rolling through. Cairo is going to be pretty good. I think Fairfield has got a run going. They're going to be very good as well with with S&M going on and L. I mean, I'm telling you right now, some schools you see this, and again, by no means do I say if you make it to Wren Lake, that guarantees you anything.
No.
Because I go back to the year that Woodlawn won the state title, 12, that team didn't get the state. So,
right.
Some teams get there and go crazy, some teams don't. Because, there's so many factors that happen between 7th and 8th grade and high school, senior year, junior year. It's crazy, but if you got that talent, you got a roll, and you got something going on, you can say, hey, you know what, we got a lot coming up. Maybe we can do something. But, boy, it is a great atmosphere at Wren Lake when that goes on. Congratulations to Blueford. Great job there. And, congratulations on a fine season no matter what happens today.
Of course, Class L gets started today. And, of course, a game already in action on our sister station Q106 and WQRLradio.com. DuQuoin and the Benton Junior Rangers have already tipped off, and, of course, followed by Collinsville, Mount Carmel, Carbondale, Centralia, and Marion and Cariel out of O'Fallon. I mean, basically, that's just familiar team after familiar team. Basically, teams that end up there practically every year.
It's like they make a thing. I think it's a shock that DuQuoin's up on Benton. Heard talk last night that Benton was already in the semis Monday. Thought, well, okay. I don't think anybody told DuQuoin, who's been there a lot lately, too.
Yes.
Got beat by Centray in the first-round game last year, I remember, and I thought, wow.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not like this is DuQuoin's first rodeo. It's not Benton's first rodeo, but 12-7 early lead for the Indians. That is an interesting score.
Of course, Marion back again. What else is new?
Yeah. Yeah. Marion starting next year and beyond, if they all stick together and play, again, same thing.
How many
they could be decent.
Some of those kids, I mean, didn't they win baseball?
Yeah.
And then
dominated basketball
track
last year, yeah.
I mean,
Marion's got a great group coming.
They've got some athletes coming, and if they can stick with it, obviously we're not saying, hey, if you win a junior high title, it's hard for me. I
can't say state really because
in the IESA can't say state either.
Yeah, nobody can say state because not everybody's all together.
This is more. I love the Southern Illinois Junior High School Athletic Association. Always have. This is basically more like a super sectional. By the time you win whatever your class. And certainly no shame in that. That is amazing, and we wish all of our teams, obviously, the best of luck in that. Of course, every team in the associations in our daytime coverage area. But there you have that. Of course, we also need to wish some good luck to the Mount Vernon Rams wrestlers today. Of course, I believe in the second day of the second day of the sectionals
Wrestlebacks.
We do have some wrestlebacks. I also believe that Chase Fosberg and Tristan Penrod have made the semifinals. And then Josiah Fitzgerald, Quentin Favors, and Alex Hopkins are in the wrestlebacks today. Yes. So best of luck to Rams Wrestling. Lady Rams Bowlers, I believe, head to the sectional today.
At Alton.
Yes.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's a big day locally, of course, for local sports. And when you take a look at everything that's happening right now, it's a busy time of year. It's our favorite time of the year because it is so busy. As, believe it or not, 3A and 4A girls regionals start next week. Mount Vernon and Lady Rams, of course, will head to Massac County, where they are the 4 seed. Carbondale the 1, Massac the 2. Heron the 3, Mount Vernon the 4, Centralia the 5, Marion the 6, and
you've been there for a game, right?
I have never been to Metropolis.
You're in for a treat.
I've been to Metropolis. I've never been to Massac.
You've been to high. Oh, you're in for a treat.
I've been to the football field.
That don't count.
Multiple times, but not the basketball gym.
Oh.
You're looking at me like I'm either getting myself into something weird.
You are. Hey,
I have to climb a ladder,
I haven't been there in
don't
a couple years, but if things are still the same. And it's still the same setup. Oh, you're in for a treat. That's all I'm going to say.
Do I have to climb a ladder with all that equipment?
You have to climb the steps. Yeah, yeah.
Am I in shape for this?
Oh.
Do I need to back off the game?
That's all I'm going to tell you. Because unless something has changed, let's say renovated, done something different, I haven't heard, but you're in for a treat.
Hope I'm not going to be put on the physically unable to perform list by not being able to get up to the broadcast location.
There's going to be a lot of people up there. See what happens.
All I'm going to say, as long as I have to climb a rope, I think I'll be all right.
I mean, I'm just saying it's a different box. Great set, a great facility. You'll love the high school. You've been there, and, it's a great town, but it'll be fun to go on this one. If you haven't been, I didn't realize you had not been
You're
down there
laugh
for a
at
game.
Me, I guarantee it.
Yeah, I am.
I already feel this coming.
Yes. I'm going to enjoy this.
Oh, man. Well, I'll probably get frustrated, won't I?
Nah, I don't know. If
okay. Well, that can't be too bad.
You'll sit there and go,
because
if it's the same thing.
You know me well enough to know when I'm going to get angry.
Every gym has its special
quirk,
intricacies. This one definitely does.
I like that word too.
So,
there we go. Lady Rams on the FM Monday night. 5:45 pregame as they take on Centralia. A win would put them against Carbondale, if I'm not mistaken, on Tuesday
at 6.
That game would also be on 94.1 FM so that we can bring you coverage of the Wayne City Lady Indians on AM 940. The Rams on Tuesday night will be on the FM immediately following the Lady Rams, of course, and Carbondale, if that should happen. So we'll do our best to bring you the best broadcast coverage we possibly can, as we always strive to do for you. Not better than anybody, just be the best. And that is our mission. So there you go. That's our early coverage for next week. You can find our broadcast schedule always at WMIXsports.com. Postseason-wise, we try to update it day by day, but very excited with the 1A and 2A seedings released. Well, here's the funny thing about it, and somebody pointed this out on the .coms, that if you go to Score Zone first, sometimes you can find the pairings before they even release the seeds. And that's exactly what happened with 1A and 2A boys on Tuesday or on Thursday. IHSA had them on Score Zone, the matchups, before they released the seeds. So we were able to see we are going to be able to do every game from the Christopher Regional. All of our teams are at Christopher. this year. Woodlawn comes south for the first time since class expansion. Everybody's at Christopher. We're able to do every game with a doubleheader on that Monday, the 24th, a doubleheader on that Wednesday, and then a regional championship game on that Friday. Pretty excited about that.
Just like we did at Wayne City this week.
We did that,
We
too.
were able to cover every game at Wayne City this week with our teams. One of our teams, Wayne City, wins a regional title. Cecilville or Waltonville wins one. Would love to be able to have a chance to do one or the other or both on Thursday night. And then, of course, we get to go to Christopher. Looking forward. That's a great place. Good food, good hospitality. Everybody there. Richard Towers, the superintendent. Eric Stallman, basketball coach. Garrett Janello, the AD at Christopher. Love going to Christopher. A lot of good times there. So that'll be fun to be there on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for that whole week and the rest of the time. For that regional, we're very excited to let everybody know that we will be covering every game of the Christopher Regional in one way or another.
Oh, yeah. Very excited about that. And it's not often that things kind of work out for you, but things are actually kind of working out this year. And we're very excited about our broadcast coverage and appreciate Community First Bank of the Heartland for being the official voice of high school sports on WMIX, much like Crossroads Community Hospital is the official voice of this Saturday sports show. And we appreciate all of them and all of our sponsors for everything that we were able to do. Without them, it is certainly not possible. And, of course, our management is great as well here at Withers Broadcasting. So we're very thankful for all that we are able to do and certainly hope that you'll follow us on Twitter to stay up to date as to what we're doing. Of course, there's always WMIXsports.com as well and Facebook to keep you up to date. All of our archives are current, of course. If you want to listen to the Wayne City history-making night last night, you can do that. Of course, we have the video archives of the Rams and Lady Rams up as well. We'll have the Saturday Sports Show up before you know it of today's program. But all in all, yeah, I know, that's a big one. You got to get it up quickly.
Yeah.
Quick.
One of our coworkers will be watching that closely.
Well, I know. It's good to keep me on my toes. He's kind of like the NCAA. Oh, gosh, I cannot think of what that's called. It doesn't matter now. Forget about it. I feel like I'm forgetting a game. Tonight, we still have basketball tonight. I've talked about Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Well, heck, we're not done this week. But that should be a good one tonight. Woodlawn, Flora.
Heading to Flora to the pit.
Yeah.
Looking forward there. Flora lost to Robinson last night by 3 in an LIC game. Woodlawn goes there tonight. Hopefully the roads are a little bit better than last night over in that direction. Very interesting game. Flora came into Woodlawn last year and beat the Cardinals, I think by 7 or 8, 9, something along that ball game. It was kind of a surprise. But Woodlawn goes to Flora tonight. We're going to have that tonight, so looking forward to that.
That has been a nice little series, and I'm glad they finally got it on the regular season schedule. They played in the Centralia Shootout, I believe, when Dawson Verhines and company were seniors. And then Paul Knapp, I believe, was a junior. And that was kind of the key matchup there of Knapp versus Verhines. I remember was kind of the pub from the CHS shootout that year. And it was a close game, and Flora, I believe, took that one and a close one. And then now they're matching up in the regular season. And if you haven't been to Flora, it's a treat. I like Flora's gym.
Yeah, got to stop on the way to get a bite to eat before. So, favorite place in Marion County before we head east on Route 50.
Nice.
So we'll stop in Marion County, get something there, and then head off to Flora. Looking forward to that. Woodlawn has had a couple of nice wins this week on the road at Wayne City and back-to-back on the road at Cesar-Valier. Had the night off last night. They're still trying to find a game right now for next week. Don't know if they'll get it done or not. But if you're listening out there and you're a Class 1A, 2A, 3A team or whatever, and you're looking for a game, give Shane Witzel a call. They're looking. Officials are hired, and they have a home date open on Tuesday if you're looking for one. So that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That would have been nice.
Uh-oh.
I don't like O's. That can't be good.
Well, now I got two different scores. One score says this, one score says another. Gotta love it.
You know what? There's nothing better than that right there.
Tanaka Mania has happened. Sorry. Flew over with his 787 he rented. Nice.
Wow.
Derek Jeter goes out with a Facebook announcement of retirement quietly, and Tanaka comes in and brings over a 787.
It's kind of like March going out like coming in like a lamb and going out like a lion, or going out like a lamb and coming in like a lion.
Yeah.
That should be how that would work, or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Can't be what it's not, of course. Glad to have had you with us this morning for the Saturday Sports Show. We're back at it next week, of course. We'll have our normal show. I say we, the entity, not we as in plural. DC will be on assignment next week.
Yes, he will.
His annual pilgrimage assignment. We have to send him somewhere once a year as part of his rider. But next week we'll, of course, have your annual Hall of Fame show. Mount Vernon Township High School class of 2014 will go in on Friday night and Saturday night. They'll introduce them before the game, honor them officially with speeches on Saturday. You can find your tickets Tuesday night in the lobby of Shagnon Gymnasium before the game against Lovejoy. Dinner will be great. The entertainment will be fantastic. Join them next Saturday night. Of course, we'll have the program honoring the Hall of Fame 9 to 11. We'll do a regular little show, of course, from 8 to 9, talk to some of your favorite guests and more. So we hope you'll join us next week here on the Saturday Sports Show. We'll get our guests contacted and booked this week, of course, as Avery will take care of that. So we look forward to him setting that up for us. He did great work with it last year. He'll do great work again this year. That's next week here on the Saturday Sports Show. Archive will be up soon here on WMIXsports.com. We're so glad to have had you on AM 940. Don't forget to find our high school basketball broadcast schedule at WMIXsports.com. Our spring schedule will be coming up before you know it as well as the St. Louis Cardinals spring training games start on March 1st on the FM. This is WMIX, Mount Vernon, Marion, Peoria, a free service from Withers Broadcasting. Log on to WMIX94.com. NBC News Now.